There we go. Good morning and welcome to Sunday Soul Talks. Oops, I forgot to put it on YouTube. I'll have to upload it. I was so prepared today because there's something I woke up with wanting to do for you guys today. And I named this, but then I got out of it. This tech thing. Okay, so I named this Change Begins Within You. Nobody else needs to change. Hey, Peter, can you shut the door? Door. Did you hear the Maina in me? The door. Shut the door. Yeah, I wanted to talk about change. It's not, nobody outside of you needs to change. Nobody outside of you needs to change. As you change, they don't affect you anymore like they did. The only reason they can affect you is because you have pain inside. That's called a trigger. The pain inside was put there seemingly by the others, but not intentionally, because the same thing happened to them from their others, most of all your parents, because you come into this world not knowing a thing. That brain, mind, whatever's going on in here is completely empty. It's a clean slate. Clean slate. Imagine having a clean slate where there's nothing going on in there. Then at around 18 months old, maybe a little before, maybe a little after, there's a mirror put up in front of you. And there's identification with this being a me. So, see how innocently this happens? This identification with this me is not real. The baby has no me inside. That's why we love babies, because they're so open. They're open. You can't project your pain or your judgment on a baby because it's empty. You're judging a baby. Say a toddler is lazing around or whatever. And your mind comes up with, you're lazy. You're lazy to this kid. And the kid doesn't know what lazy means. Is he lazy? Your judgment of the kid being lazy, 3 fingers are pointing back at you. We're literally judging ourselves here. And that judgment, every single judgment, is painful. And as the judgment arises in, okay, so there's a thought, you blah, blah, blah. That's pain. That judgment, that telling them they're doing it wrong, is held inside of you. If it's, of course, it's the judgment is a it's a painful thing to judge somebody. It's opposite of love. Love is all encompassing. It's letting everyone and yourself just be. Imagine if you had the voice inside coming up saying, oh, Jesus, I did that wrong. And then you go, wait a minute. No, I didn't. Life doesn't make a mistake. If you had your own back, because that mind is programmed that it's not good enough and it can do something wrong. That's the program running in the head, where the baby is just being moved by life, just like we are. So I heard a meme that said, I wish we could go back to before we knew anything, knew the world, before we started judging the world as wrong. What if every single thing and you are exactly where you're meant to be in every given moment? Imagine the freedom. Imagine the relief inside when you realize I don't need to be any other way than I am. And when the thought comes up, or I should have, they should have, because it starts with you. That's what I'm saying. This thing is called change begins inside of you. As you let yourself off the hook for doing it wrong, when the thoughts come up of I'm doing it wrong, then you let the others off the hook too. When Dewey was in my face and telling me all the things I did wrong the night before, there was zero upset here. Even because I wasn't judging myself as doing it wrong, I know that he's not doing it wrong. All of the points that he thought I was doing wrong was not wrong. It was perfection for me. Perfection. Because I got to see that when somebody's in my face telling me I'm doing it wrong, and I have compassion for them, I'm holding compassion for me. I know that I'm not doing it wrong. And when you see this, the others can't affect you anymore. They were just you anyway. They're just showing you where your pain is already within. Hi, Reggie. Thank you for being here. You're my first one. Oh, it says 2 now. Somebody told me today, Scott Robinson told me, that I have Shoot, I should have written it down. It's on one of my posts. Pa. The last part of it is pa. I'd never heard the word before. Kupa, kupa, or something like that. And I'm like, what does that mean? I'm afraid to ask what that means. But apparently it means, he said, courage. Courage. He said, oh, he said moxie and courage. Moxie. The only reason I know what moxie is a drink from Maine that tastes like shit. um, but courage. When he said courage, I'm hoping that when you watch this, that watching this gives you permission to be yourself. When I started listening to Lisa Carn's Non-Duality years ago to try to understand what happened with the awakening I had, I saw that she was herself unapologetically. Unapologetically. She burped, she whatever. She just was herself. Whatever's coming out. No script. I don't have a script. This is the first day. I have a little something planned. Let's see if it actually works. Because life, I know, Lori knows that you can plan till the cows come home. But will the powers that be, whatever's running this show, if you say God, okay, life, love, universe, whatever you want to call it, it knows what's best. Always. So much so that there isn't a Fort Myers Beach grain of sand out of place. And that means every single minuscule, everything is exactly how it's meant to be. And your little puny mind doesn't know. You can look back and think that that was the worst thing that happened. What is the worst? Can you actually, maybe this is going to work. Can you actually think about the worst thing that your mind is holding on to? I'm a victim. They did this to me. Can you just get yourself in that state of total victim? Give yourself total permission to go there. I'm a victim of this person or this life situation. Hurt so bad. I'm sure it's blaring in there. Mine is the scam. That's the biggest one. When I realized that I really was being scammed and I couldn't unsee it. Standing in this living room. I'm in the dining room right now, but the living room with all that shame and regret and realizing how many people I had to apologize to, all the shame, I think, is the worst. I did something wrong. It's hard to go there now because I don't believe that anymore. It's not that doing something wrong isn't reality for me anymore because that's the change that's happened within. So if somebody points to me and saying I'm doing it wrong, it's like the baby. It goes right through because it's been healed. But can you go there and really steep in the fact that you're a victim of this person who hurt you so bad? Even if it was laid down in childhood, Just think deeply on and watch how your body feels when you believe you're a victim and they did this to me, and the anger and the resentment and the bitterness, and you want life to get them. Karma is a bitch. They're gonna get what's coming to them, and all of that is living in your body. And every time something else happened, the mind actually took it on as it was our fault. We've done something wrong. It always, whenever, when Oprah was doing childhood, when there was a divorce, there was a guy that was really good at realizing that kids take on the belief that it's my fault. The divorce, they literally take on a belief that it's my fault. And divorce is epidemic. And it's not just divorce. We just have this belief that we are doing it wrong. And that's why there's so much pain inside that needs to be fought. No, I'm right. Anyway, I don't want to go there. Okay. So feel that pain of what somebody did to you. And I'm sure there were thoughts of, why did they do that to me? They must not love me if they did that to me. My girlfriend, her dad, her and her brother were a result of an affair. This man already had kids with a woman that he was married to, and his mom and him fell in love. It's not really love, but that's what it seems like, because a new person and there's a connection, and that is not predetermined by the person. It's just happening. That's why I don't, anytime there's an affair, I know there's no blame for, I do not blame anyone who's had an affair and looked down on them as if they've done something wrong, because life knows what it's doing. It's putting you in these situations because we're looking outside of ourselves for the love that we feel lacking of. And this person is giving me love. Nope. You cannot get love from anybody. Anyway, but that's when you don't realize you're the love you're looking for. You are trying to get love and approval from the others. So, um, Margie, you know I've lost it. The affair, the judgment, no judgment here on anybody who's had an affair, because I see clearly that you think it's going to be better somewhere else, and it isn't, because they're waking up the love that's already within you. That's why everything is so wonderful when you are with somebody for the first in the beginning, but it doesn't take long. Oh, I love you, Jimmy. Great connections. Thank you for being here. I know it's fleeting, but thanks for dropping in. Um, anyway, that person that you're thinking brought you love, if you believe that, then when the little me starts coming back up, because it will, because there's going to be conflict, because each little me has its own pain inside, and we're drawn to the other person for healing, for our healing. And if you fight them, you're not going to heal if you blame them. You have to turn it around and look inside of you. As you change, so do they. Because that dance you were playing of the judgment of the other person being wrong or doing life wrong, that judgment's living in you. It's hurting you, not them. It does hurt them to some degree, but it's hurting you predominantly. So as that's healed in you, then they don't have to be that way anymore. So you can see it. They don't have to uphold their part of the pattern you have going. They don't have to hold it up. They can't, because you've changed here. You're not judging them as wrong anymore. So they don't have to act out. They don't have to have their little me saying, no, I'm right, because it's hitting their I'm wrong. That's deep inside. Woo, it's not where okay. So I want to bring it back. Good morning, Lydia. I am calling you Lydia because I can't pronounce the beginning. But I love that you're resonating with all of this. Thank you for being here. So the person that's hurt you, that you believe hurt you, and can you get into that state where you're blaming them and so hurt by what they did to me? Oh, that's what I was saying about my friend who's, it came back. So I think I'm more excited than you guys. So her mom and dad, her dad was in a relationship, actually married and had some kids, and met her mom, had a boy, and then had her. But then he decided, when my girlfriend was 5, so her brother was older. I don't know why. I'm thinking that he was the boy that he wanted because he didn't have boys before. That's an assumption. He left and went back to the wife, but he took the boy and not my friend. So, of course, there's that. If my dad didn't love me, didn't take me, you know, I'm worthless, is the message. I actually told her last week, when you can thank him, thank him. Good morning, Sandy. Thank you for being here. When you can thank him, her dad, for what he seemingly did, what he represented in her life, because she is a people pleaser to the max. She is a doormat to men trying to get love from them. And I'm showing her, I met her 2 years ago. And right now, today is a big day for her. And her relationship with her husband is horrible. Like, I've never seen anything like it in my life. Never. It gets to blows where he went to jail last year. But the thing is, when the cops came, she didn't want to call the cops. She dialed 911 because she was afraid for her life. And then she hung up. And then when they called back, she didn't have it on. And the rant was still going. He was still going at her. And since she didn't answer, they traced it and came. They showed up. Oh, the shame. Oh, the whole thing. It was perfect. So perfect. Divine. Like I said, everything. And then when the cops got there, everything's happening exactly the way it's supposed to. Meant to be. So when she got in the cop car, the cop said, one of you is going to jail tonight. And she's like, oh my God, not, take me, I'll go to jail. Don't take him. They knew right away that she was not going to jail. That's what the empathy, the compassion that she has. I told her that compassion is beautiful for herself. She's holding, when she holds compassion. So right now, she's going to be asking for a divorce today. And that compassion, she is not angry at him. She's coming from, I don't want this for myself anymore. She's been away from it since April. And she just was with him recently with her grandkids, and it cemented, and it isn't changing. So she's going to come from her, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful how she says she's going to come from love, that he's loved, but it just can't work between them anymore. We're worth more than this. Right? She's not angry at him. She's not saying he did this. She's coming from her truth of she's worthy of more. He's done this through his career. He's walked over people. Oh, and I'm not saying he's a bad guy either. That's what he's learned. He believes he's a piece of crap. He's not good enough. Something's wrong with him. So he comes out fighting. And if you do something wrong in his eyes, which a lot is wrong in his eyes, there's hell to pay. But I honestly think I am the only one in his life that sees him. The only one in his life that sees the truth of him. I know that that's not coming from who he is. Who he really is love. He just doesn't feel worthy of it, so he's lashing. Okay, let's go back. Go back to where you feel like somebody has hurt you. Hardcore, like her dad. This would be something for her to just... Actually, I did this for her this week. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Get in that state of victim and what they did to me. Okay, now listen to this. could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Yeah. Those people that conveyed that message to you that you weren't beautiful, you weren't love itself, didn't know. Because the same thing happened to them. We're conditioned to believe that we are these bodies and minds, and we're not good enough. And we have to go out and get approval from the others. And if we're not approved of by the others, we are angry. If they don't approve of us, if somebody says something about you, oh, or they're talking behind your back, oh, that feeling. What? That doesn't define you. Anybody can say anything about me. Anything. When Dewey said, you're not a good friend to Christina, there was a little bit of a hit. And I was like, what? And it was immediate healing, seeing that compassion for him, because I know I got her back. I got everybody's back. If you need to talk, if you need to realize the love that you are, I'm here. I love sharing love with everybody. I was in the grocery store. Wait a minute. I gotta get a tissue. Thank God it wasn't far. Oh, my nose is running. My eyes are leaking. I played that for Mom years ago for my mother. She absolutely loved that song. I I don't know how many times she asked me. She got it saved on her computer. Finally, where she could go and listen to it when she wanted. Powerful. Um, mm, Thank you, Lydia. That is so true. It's so true. You're never gonna get it from outside. Oh, I started saying something. Shit. I can bring it back. Maybe. Ah! I started saying something. It's gone. Was that, oh, that I'm here. I mean, Christina, literally, it's been 2 years. And we haven't been, I mean, she's just questioning. She's going inside. Why do I accept this? Because this new guy is being the same. Why do you have so many guys texting? I want to see all your texts. Why did you go to breakfast with Howard the last day? The thing is, that's all from his insecurities, because she's close with other guys and girls because she's friendly, just like I am. She loves people. She just doesn't love herself, but she's getting there. 2 years, and that's not really constant. I mean, it's been really intense lately, and she's She's willing. I have another one who's in the same situation with the guys and trying to get love from that person and taking him back and fighting and blah, blah, blah. And she's blocked him now, the asshole that he is. See? Right there. She is not. I deserve better than that. She don't believe it because that's anger and blame. Whenever you blame somebody else, you will never, ever find the love that you are. Blaming someone else for how you're feeling, it's not the way it works. You cannot blame anybody in your life for causing you pain. 3 fingers are pointing back at you. You're causing me pain. No, it's you that's causing the pain, because that love that you are can encompass everything. It's like, I keep saying, it's like I have a bubble, an impenetrable bubble over this. Oh, the lady in the grocery store. That's I just got back. We were standing in the bread aisle, and she's looking at the bread, and I'm looking at the bread, and I'm going, seeing the prices of the bread, seeing the different wheat, white, country white. So I looked at her because she goes, I looked at her, I said, too many to choose from, huh? It's ridiculous. She says, well, they're not good for you. I said, well, that's what they want us to believe. It's not good for me. So when you get bread and you eat it, and you're telling yourself as you're eating the bread, this isn't good for me, this isn't good for me. People have survived on bread. Jesus gave bread, broke bread, or whatever. I don't care what is in it or what, it's what you're believing about the bread. And we had this conversation. I don't remember what I said because I never remember what I'm saying. Pretty much it just comes out in the moment and I'm not hanging on to it. But she just looked at me and she goes, thank you for this enlightening conversation. I literally have no idea what I said, but it was about bread and what you believe in. I don't know. Who knows where it went? Because there's another post I came up. It says, Lori is not going to, how did it go? Something about I'm not. This is actually where this guy said I was a something. Oh, there's been 12 inches of rain in the past 12 hours, but it's Sanibel that way, which isn't far from us. Streets are flooded. There's all kinds of flooding going on, but there's not. I mean, we have some rain, but it's It's not heavy at all. Well, yesterday there was rain out our. I don't even know what to call the front and the back. One side out there was raining, coming down buckets of rain, and on the right out that side there was nothing. I got a video of it. Okay. I almost went, what am I looking for? Okay. Okay. Oh, no. What are you doing? You know what? When you try to go back, when you try to go back, it's almost impossible. Really? I literally just posted it this morning. It said something about how I'm not going to go down. Oh, remembering who you are feels like an undercurrent. This is what came out of me this week when Bruce, my dear friend Bruce Adams, he he's been a catalyst in my journey, Lori's journey through to love. He asked what it feels like to realize the love that you are. And I said, it feels like an undercurrent of peace and calm. When you love yourself, you never have to beg for love. Each time you choose to face a trial with courage, you're taking a step closer to your full potential. That's a real. All right. Why? Seriously. It was something about Lori's not going to be remembered for being able to shut her mouth or something like that. Because everybody who knows me knows I could talk all day and all night. And then it stops. You guys never have questions. Why is there real questions? I say that all the time. Yeah, look at the streets. Flooded. Oh, we can't see that. Wow. Anyway. Yeah. Saying about St. James City, too. Oh, boy. Yep. But we're not. I mean, it's raining, but not. Yesterday we had that downpour, but it didn't last long. Thank God. God, seems like there was something that I was going to say last week. I started to say it, and oh, I don't remember what it was, but there was Debbie Ford. She wanted me to talk about my knee. Actually, that's another thing. We went to Lowe's yesterday to get I gotta replant my orchids. And this man he could barely get out of the chair. He was talking about his knee and his hip, but he just had his hip replaced. But the doctor said that the next hip is going to have to be replaced. I said, don't believe it. Doesn't have to. But if the doctor, most people believe that because they've been to school to become a doctor and they have the white coat, that they know more. Now, you guys know that the dentist white coat told me when I was 28 that I needed to have a cavity filled. And you know that I never had that filled because I asked him, how do I know I have a cavity? Oh, you have no pain? No, I have no pain. Okay, well, takes out the x-ray. See that pain? See that little spot there on one of my teeth in the back? To be honest, that could be there for the next 10 years. Okay, well then let's not fill it. I was 28. Then, when I was 40, I went to a different, well, in my 30s, I went to a different dentist because I missed a cleaning. I needed a cleaning, and I missed it, so they were going to put me off another year. So I went to a different dentist in Brunswick, Dr. Laborde, and everything was fine. You know, they take the x-rays every year. But when I turned 40, he says, you have a cavity. Oh, let me tell you a story. I told him that story. I never had either one filled. 28 and 40. I am now 61, and I've never had a cavity. But I would have had 2 teeth filled for nothing. Many. people get fillings for nothing because they didn't speak up for themselves, because they took the word of the white coat that's higher than them. So then the knee thing. And Debbie, if you're listening, actually I don't know if you're here, but I'll tag you in it. The knee. You guys have heard this before. My knee was busted. I tore my ACL in the year 2000. I tore my ACL. The ACL seemingly tore in this dream of separation. And as had it reconstructed. That was a whole ordeal. Then everything, well, actually, all my hair customers, every time I go to them, they would say things like, how's your knee? How's your knee? How's your knee? And I'd be like, it's never going to be like the other one. It's never going to. And then one day I went, well, if I keep saying it's never going to be like the other one, well, how's it going to be if I'm believing that? So I stopped saying it. When they asked me, it's fine. It's doing great. And I forgot about it. I literally wasn't even part of the sphere because everybody stopped asking because I said it was fine. So we jumped to moving here in 2019, and I think it was 2021 or maybe 2020. We walked, Peter and I walked 6 miles in 2 days, back to back, on the sidewalk. Then all of a sudden, my knee, right after that, my knee started hurting, that same knee. It was killing me. I couldn't even sit in a chair like this with my leg hanging down. It hurt. I couldn't sit Indian style. I couldn't. I couldn't run. I thought my running days were over. Because that was what it does. It goes into the future of doom. So I couldn't even turn over in bed without lifting the covers, lifting the sheet. It's not the covers because we don't need covers, it's just the sheet. Lifting it to turn because the drag on my foot would tweak my knee, seemingly. So I heard a Byron Katie podcast one day after months. It was 3 or 4 months of this pain. But I don't go to the doctor. I'm not saying I won't, but I haven't had to since I was 40, when the doctor told me I didn't need to. The only doctor I went to was a gynecologist, and he said, you don't need to, you've never had an abnormal pap smear, so you don't need to do this every year. So I never went back. Anyway, so this podcast from Byron Katie, I brought that back, she says, pain is remembered or anticipated. So I said, show me. I want to see this because I was fed up with this pain in my knee. So that night I had to go pee, which I normally don't have to do in the night. But I had to. I got out of bed, swung my legs over that bed, walked to the bathroom, sat down, peed, got back up, back to bed, laid there and lifted the sheet. The second I lifted that sheet, it was remembered. Oh my God. Before that, zero pain. Zero. There was no pain. None of that was remembered because I don't get up in the night to go pee till the sheet was lifted. So that was in either 2020 or 2021, one of the two. Here it is, 2025. I sit Indian style. I sit on my legs when I'm on my couch. Everybody has their certain spot that they sit in. This spot, I jump into that couch with my leg underneath me. Always. I couldn't do that then. And now but since that day, seeing that, I've had zero pain. Zero. Hmm. So is this life going by how you believe it to be going? Because we don't see life as it is. We see life as we are believing it to be. What are you believing about life? Because life is happening, but your mind is telling a story about what's happening. That's been proven. When you see an accident, each person has a different story. And the thing is, the past, the stories that we have from the past, they change. Actually, I've told stories that I thought I believed it was that way, and somebody else proved to me it wasn't that way. Wow. Our minds don't know. It's called the I, Byron Katie calls it the I know mind. You think you know what somebody else is doing, what you're doing. It doesn't know shit. It thinks it does. It needs to know. What if you didn't need to know anything? What if you just bebopped through life like a toddler without a care in the world? Without a care. And that doesn't mean that you don't love. You can't help but love. But caring, our minds are what makes life matter. It makes this matters to me. You did this to me. Nope. That's not true. Nobody's doing anything to anybody because these bodies and minds aren't even their projection of our thoughts. A baby doesn't know it has a body. You just took on this me that has a body, and it can be affected by food, by whatever is seemingly here. In this dream, it does seem, like Albert Einstein said, albeit a persistent one. It does seem real. I'm not saying it doesn't, but there's a paradox. It's when you can let go and let life or God or whatever you believe in is blinking those eyes and beating that heart and keeping the planets in perfect alignment with the sun. If that was off, even by a fraction of whatever, we wouldn't even be here. Everything is exactly the way it's meant to be. And that spirit, that whatever's doing all of this, you are part of that. You are that. You are that. And you can't screw it up. Basically, the whole premise here is for God, life, to experience itself because it's all that is. So it's experiencing itself through this body and mind. But that body and mind isn't real. It's a projection of the mind. It's a projection. The spirit is what you are. That's why when you lose somebody and they go to a place called heaven, which there isn't a place called heaven. There isn't. It's right here. The kingdom of heaven is within. That's what this whole journey is, within, which every mind is like, no, don't go there. It hurts too much. It's worth every single look. Oh, could it be? It's a projection of my mind? Could it be that nothing's really here? They've proven it. Quantum physics, check it out. There's nothing here. It goes down to the atoms and whatever, and down to the quarks, and inside the quarks is nothing. Empty space. I know it's a stretch for your mind. Your mind is like, what the? She's on something. I'm not on anything. That's that uh, the old adage, high on life. That's what it seems like. Because when you realize the love that you are, you're pretty much high. I danced. I'm in the car. Michael Jackson's song came on. What was it? Mama say, mama sa, mama say, mama. How can you not move to that? You just are light. The boulders of the me in the backpack that you carry around. I something's wrong with me. I can do it. They're doing it to me. That life sucks. All of that doesn't get you to see what's really going on here. When you see through the eyes of love, oh, it's a completely different show. It is a completely different show. It's fun. And there's a lot of laughter. A lot of laughter. Good morning, Adam. Thank you for being here. Wow. This was really, I think this was the best live I can't take credit, Lori has ever done. Lori is just a bystander in all of this. Life is living through her so beautifully. Anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you all for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. I wish that you all find the love that you are. It's not hard. Just a little questioning. Mwah. Have a great week.